Okay, continuing with our video lessons, today we're going to talk about adding and subtracting like and unlike fractions. Okay, so what do we mean by like and unlike fractions? Okay, remember that when we're talking about like fractions, we're talking about fractions that have the same denominator. Okay, and we said, what is the rule to follow for like fractions? Okay, we said that the rule, okay, we invented a rule and we said, okay, here we have it. Okay, we can add or subtract fractions that are similar, like fractions. Okay, that means that they have the same denominator. We copy the denominator first and then we add or subtract the numerators. Okay, so that is the rule that we said for like fractions. Okay, so let's do some exercises on like fractions and let's apply the rule that we wrote. Okay, so let's see. Number one. Okay, so number one would be, let's see, 1 over 7 plus 2 over 7. Okay, are they like fractions? Yes, because they share the same denominator. Okay, so according to the rule, what do we do first? We copy the denominator. Okay, in this case, 7. Now, after we copy the denominator, since they are equal, then we just have to add or subtract the numerators. So in this case, we have 1 plus 2, okay, and this is going to be 3 over 7. And that is my answer. Okay, remember, we applied this rule because they have the same denominator. When they have the same denominator, okay, we just copy the denominator, okay, and then we add or subtract the numerators. Let's do another one. Sorry. Okay, let's do another one. Number 2. Let's say 2 over 3 minus 5 over 3. Okay, so what do we do here? First, according to the rule, okay, since they have the same denominator, we just copy the denominator. In this case, 3. Then we have to add or subtract the numerators. In this case, we have 2 minus 5. Okay, and whenever we have 2 minus 5, we know that the answer is going to be negative. So that's going to be minus 3 over 3. And this can also be represented as negative 1. Okay, because remember, 3 divided by 3, 1. And the negative stays here. Okay, so this is our answer. Okay, remember, we copy the denominator, look, here. Okay, and then we just add or subtract the numerators. In this case, 2 minus 5, which is minus 3. Okay, and then divided by 3 equals minus 1. Let's do another one. Let's see. Minus 7 over 5 minus 2 over 5. Okay, let's do this one. Look at what we do first. Okay, since they have the same denominator, we copy the denominator. Okay, and once we copy the denominator, we add or subtract the numerators. Now in this case, look, we have a minus 7, then we subtract, and then we have a 2. So here we just copy minus 7 minus 2. Okay, remember, this minus comes from this one. Okay, from the subtraction. Minus 7 minus 2 minus 9. Okay, and then we just copy the denominator, and there we have our answer. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do minus 4 over 9 plus 2 over 9. Okay, same thing, right? Since they have the same denominator, we just copy first. Okay, then we have a negative number first. Sorry, then we have a negative number. Okay, so we just copy. Negative 4. Here we have a plus, so it's plus 2. Okay, and then minus 4 plus 2, minus 2. And then we just copy the denominator. Look, and we have our answer. Okay, now this is what happens when we have like fractions. Okay, like fractions is when they share the same denominator. Now, what happens when we don't have the same denominator? What happens when we have unlike fractions? That's where the procedure changes. Okay, now we're going to work. Sorry. Now we're going to work unlike fractions. Okay, once we have unlike fractions, this is where the procedure changes. Okay, let's do one. Okay, let's see. Let's do 3 over 5 plus 1 over 3. Now, when we had like fractions, we just copy the denominator. Right now, in this case, we have two denominators, so we can't follow the same procedure, the same rule, because now we have unlike fractions. Okay, this denominator is 5. This denominator is 5. Now, what is the rule that we set for that points? Okay, look at what we need to do. Okay, this is what we did in class. Okay, the rule says we have to find the LCD, least common denominator. Sorry, I was putting M, right? Then we divide the denominator by the first denominator and multiply times the first numerator. Then we divide the denominator by the second denominator, and then we multiply times the second numerator. Then we add or subtract numerators. Okay. So let's put this rule into practice. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to find the least common denominator. So that means that between 5 and 3, we need to find a numerator, okay, that can divide both, but it has to be a LCD, least common denominator. Okay, so between 5 and 3, okay, we can we can look for a number that can divide 5 and that can divide 3. For example, can we use 6? No. It can divide 3, but it cannot be divided by 5. What about 10? 10 can be divided by 5, but not by 3. Let's say 12. No, because 12 can divide 3. But 12 cannot divide 5. What about 15? Okay, now 15 is a number that works for both. Look, I can divide 15 by 5? Yes. 15 by 3? Yes. Now, remember what we said about the rule. Once we have the least common denominator, in this case 15, okay, we divide by the first denominator, and then we multiply times the numerator. So 15 divided by 5, 3. And then 3 times 3, 9. Then we have a plus sign, so we copy the plus sign. Now, look at what we have here. Now we have to divide 15 divided by 3. And then we multiply times the numerator. So 15 divided by 3, 5. Times 1, 5. And this is 9 plus 5, 14. And the denominator, 15. And that is our answer. Can we simplify this fraction? No. This can be divided by 7. This one cannot. This one we can divide by 5 and 3. This one cannot. This is the fraction. Let's do another one. Okay, let's see. 2 over 3 plus 1 over 6. Okay, between 3 and 6, what is the least common denominator? Can I use 3? No, because 3 cannot be divided by 6, only by 3. Can I use 6? Yes. 6 I can divide by 3? Yes. 6 I can divide by 6? Yes. So in this case, the least common denominator, 6. Okay? And then we follow the rule. 6 divided by 3, and then we multiply times the numerator. Okay? And then we divide 6 divided by 6, and then we multiply times the numerator. Okay, so in this case, 6 divided by 3, 2, and 2 times 2, 4. Here we are adding, so we just put the plus sign. And then 6 divided by 6, 1 times 1, 1. 5 over 6. And that is my answer. Okay? Let's do another one. What about, let's see, 7 over 8 minus 1 over 3. Okay, so let's look for a number that we can use for 8 and then we can use for 3. Let's see, can we use 8? No, because 8 cannot be divided by 3. Can we use 12? No, because 12 cannot be divided by 8. Can we use 15? No, because it can divide 3, but not by 8. What about 16? Can we use 16? No, because 16 cannot divide 3. Can we use 18? No, because 18 cannot divide 8. What about 24? 24 is a number. Okay, why? Because 24 can divide 8 and 24 can be divided by 3. Okay, so once we have the least common denominator, we start working. This one divided by this one and then multiplied by the numerator. 24 divided by 8, 3 times 7, 21. Then we have minus, okay, from the subtraction. Then 24 divided by 3 and then multiplied times 1. So 24 divided by 3, 8 times 1, 8. Okay, 21 minus 8, 13 divided by 24. Can we simplify? No. And that is our answer. Okay? Let's do another one. Let's see. Let's do 7/9 minus 5/6. Okay. Now, we're looking for a number that we can use for 9 and for 6. Remember, we're looking for the least common denominator. So that means that we have 7/9 minus 5/6. The denominators are 9 and 6. So let's start working. Can I use 9? No, because 9 cannot be divided by 6. Can I use 12? No, because 12 cannot be divided by 9. What about 18? Now 18 is a number we can use because 18 can divide 9 and 18 can divide 6. Okay, so we have our least common denominator. Now we divide first and then we multiply. Same thing here. 18 divides 6 and then we multiply. Okay, so 18 divided by 9, 2 times 7, 14. We have a minus from the subtraction, right? 18 divided by 6, 3 times 5, 15. 14 minus 15 minus 1/18. And there we have our answer. Let's do the last one. Let's do 7/2 minus 1/4 minus 1/6. Look at what we have here. Now we have 3 numbers. Okay, so what do we do when we have 3 numbers? Same thing. We're going to find first the least common denominator. Now, we're looking for a number that can be divided by 6, can be divided by 4, and can be divided by 2. Okay, so let's see. Can we use 6? No, because 6 cannot be divided by 4. Can I use 8? No, because 8 cannot be divided by 6. It can be divided by 4, it can be divided by 2, but not by 6. What about 10? No, because 10 can be divided by 2, but not by 4, not by 6. What about 12? Look, 12 can be divided by 2? Yes. Can be divided by 4? Yes. Can be divided by 6? Yes. So the number we were looking for is 12. So what happens now? 12 divided by 2 multiplied times the numerator. Okay? Then 12 divided by 4 and then multiplied by numerator. And then 12 divided by 6 and then multiplied by numerator. Okay, so let's work. 12 divided by 2, 6 times 7, 42. Then we have a subtraction, right? So we just copy the subtraction. 12 divided by 4, 3 times 1, 3. We have another subtraction. 12 divided by 6, 2 times 1, 2. 42 minus 3, 39 minus 2, 37 over 12. Can I simplify? No. So there is my answer. Okay? So, what is the important steps that you need to remember? When they are like fractions, the rule was pretty simple. We copy the denominator, we add or subtract the numerators. Okay? Pretty simple, right? Now, the difference is for unlike fractions. When we don't have the same denominator, we have to find the LCD, least common denominator. The least common denominator. This least common denominator is a number that can be divided by the both denominators. Okay, so in this case it was 15. In this case it was 6. In this case 24. In this case 18. In this case 12. Okay, so once we have the least common denominator, we just need to follow the rules. Look, we divide by the numerator, we multiply by the numerator. We divide by the denominator, and we multiply times the numerator. Then we just add or subtract, and then we copy the denominator, and we put the answer on the numerator. Okay? So, remember that this topic, we saw it in class, so you can go back to the class. Okay, remember that the class is recorded. Okay, in case you need more explanation on this topic, you can also use this link, this video. And remember that under this video, you'll find the link with the exercises that you will need to hand in. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, please let me know.